The European Union has extended its 15 rounds of sanctions against Russia for another 6 months. This decision became possible after Hungary withdrew its earlier objections in exchange for an EU statement on energy security guarantees. The extension was approved by EU foreign ministers at a meeting in Brussels.
Europe delivers. EU foreign ministers just agreed to extend again the sanctions on Russia. This will continue to deprive Moscow of revenues to finance its war. Russia needs to pay for the damage they are causing. Kaja Kallas, High Representative of the European Union for Foreign Affairs and Security Policy, on social network X.
The renewed sanctions include all sectoral trade bans and measures that freeze the assets of Russia's central bank. The profits from these frozen assets are being used to finance a $50 billion loan to Ukraine backed by the G7.
We want and we're making Russia pay for all the crimes committed, and this needs to really hurt. We have, as EU, reacted in a strong, unified manner. We have 15 sanction packages that have been adopted, and these are waging a heavy toll on Russia's economy and on Kremlin's ability to wage war.
The extension of EU sanctions against Russia was on the verge of collapse. Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban, a local opponent of EU sanctions on Russia, had vowed to block the decision. He previously argued that the 15 rounds of sanctions harm Europe's economy, while allegedly having no impact on Russia's war against Ukraine.
Now, the issue of the rollover of the sanctions is on the agenda, and I have pulled the brakes and asked EU leaders to understand this cannot continue. This is not good that we pay the price of helping Ukraine, and they cause us problems. Viktor Orban, Prime Minister of Hungary, from the Reuters publication.
However, threats and demands for Ukraine to continue the transit of Russian gas through its territory did not succeed. Orban also failed to gain support from Washington. At the World Economic Forum in Davos, Donald Trump stated that economic pressure on Russia could help stop its aggression. Moreover, he called on OPEC and Saudi Arabia to lower oil prices immediately to weaken Russia's ability to finance the war against Ukraine.
And I'm also going to ask Saudi Arabia and OPEC to bring down the cost of oil. You got to bring it down, which, frankly, I'm surprised they didn't do before the election. That didn't show a lot of love by them not doing it. I was a little surprised by that. If the price came down, the Russia-Ukraine war would end immediately. Right now, the price is high enough that war will continue. You got to bring down the oil price. You got to end that war.
Now the EU is discussing a 16th round of sanctions. The bloc is considering additional restrictions to further reduce Russia's revenues from energy exports.
The current sanctions must be extended, and the 16th package must be adopted soon and must be strong. The U.S. position on sanctions is clear. The EU must also act decisively. I also briefed my EU colleagues on the current situation on the battlefield and the needs of the Ukrainian defenders. Ukraine and the EU are ready to expand defense cooperation and investments. I am grateful to the European Union and its member states for their unwavering and strong support for Ukraine. Andriy Sybiha, Minister of Foreign Affairs of Ukraine, on social network X.
According to Bloomberg, restrictions on Russian liquefied natural gas and aluminium could be included in the next EU sanctions package. Sweden, Ireland, Poland, Denmark, Finland, the Czech Republic, Romania and the Baltic states have also proposed banning the import of Russian pipeline and liquefied gas to limit the Kremlin's war financing. Reported by Serhiy Kulias, Yulia Granovska, UATV News.